YouTube, Niner Empire, what is going down? Welcome back to another video. So the 49ers are about one of a dozen teams that has met with Miami kicker Andres Borregales. He met with a long list of NFL teams ahead of the Shrine Bowl, and the 49ers were one of those teams on the list. So Borregales is considered to be one of the best kickers available in the draft. Obviously it's easy to understand why. He had a very good career field goal percentage when he was with Miami in college, making 86% of field goals he attempted in his 4-year career. His 2024 senior year was his best. He made 18 of 19 field goals, and all of his extra point attempts. So, obviously the 49ers are likely to be looking for another kicker going into the 2025 season, especially after the year that Jake Moody had in 2024. Jake Moody, without a doubt, costed this team, a good 3 to 4 games. And I'm not going to lie. I get, Borregales is one of the best kickers available in the draft. I understand that Brant Boyer, the 49ers' new special teams coordinator, could come in and have a large say in if Moody kind of stays or if they decide to look elsewhere for a kicker. Obviously he could think that Moody just had an off year, especially coming back from, an injury, his high ankle sprain that he dealt with for a majority of last year. Brant Boyer obviously will probably have some say in this, given he is the new special teams coordinator. He's one of the highly touted and respected special teams coordinator in the NFL. I think Boyer's probably going to think that San Francisco is going to need a new kicker and that they'll benefit from a fresh start, though. And I definitely think the 49ers have probably seen, or, fans have probably seen the last of Jake Moody on the 49ers. So, again, I get he's one of the better kickers in the draft, but god dang, man. I mean, why, have open workouts for some of these veteran kickers to come in that have done it and find a kicker that way. The Cowboys did it. There's many teams out there that have held open workouts and have found their long-term answer at kicker. I just don't like the whole idea of drafting a kicker. I mean, obviously, a lot of that has to do with the Niners taking Moody in 2023 with the 99th overall pick, which was widely regarded as a reach at the time when they selected him. That pick, looking back at it, obviously looks so much worse now, given Jake Moody's career over the past couple of years. But I don't know, man. I think in this position, I think they're much better off pursuing a proven veteran kicker in free agency than drafting an unproven guy. Because obviously, with kickers, kicker's one of the more important positions on a football team. Clearly, again, Jake Moody clearly costed the 49ers a number of games in 2024. And again, I don't think with how the 49ers, given the circumstances of last year and the kicking struggles, I just don't know how you go into this draft and draft Andres Borregales and hope that it fixes everything. Jake Moody had an incredible college career with Michigan, but he comes to the NFL and it's just like it didn't work out. And obviously Jake Moody has the leg to kick long field goals and whatnot, but you got to be accurate as a kicker in the NFL too, and that's what Jake Moody struggled with. So, in my opinion, I get at least meeting with him and talking to him, because obviously he is considered one of the best kickers available in the draft, if not the best. Very accurate in college, but when you get into the NFL, man, it's different. And I think that 49ers clearly found that out very quickly with Jake Moody. So again, I just don't. I'm not a fan of it. If they're going to take him in a later round. Take him in a much later round, because reaching on a kicker like you did with Jake Moody at pick 99 was just stupid. The 49ers could have drafted a running back at that pick. They could have drafted a wide receiver, and instead they take a kicker, and that pick looks awful now. And they definitely missed on some talent there at where they took Moody at. So again, I mean, I'm open to the idea of taking a kicker. Just don't take him high like you did with Jake Moody. Take him in, the 6th or 7th round. And really, in all reality, I would much rather them not take a kicker at all, or a punter. I think there are veteran kickers and punters out there that the 49ers can find as their long-term answer as, a free agent. Hold open workouts, in May and June and whatnot, and find your kicker that way. Find a proven guy. Find a guy that's been in the NFL that's done it. So I'm not a fan of this. However, I mean, I understand why the 49ers meet with him. They were one of probably a dozen teams that did meet with him. I'm not a fan of taking kickers in the draft, especially as high as they took Jake Moody in the draft. And again, I think the 49ers are better off finding a long-term answer at kicker in free agency. Hold open workouts and find your guy. Don't bet on a guy that's unproven. So again, I'm open to taking a kicker, but it's got to be in a much, much later round. This running back draft class is so deep going into 2025. There's so many talented running backs in this draft. And I think, with how the 49ers have kind of, struggled with having healthier running backs, take a running back. Take more running backs. Add to your running back room. That's something that Kyle Shanahan has always liked, and in taking running backs and whatnot. And I don't see, given how deep the class is with running backs, you got to take a kicker take a running back rather than a kicker. Wherever you think you're going to take a kicker, every time you think of drafting a kicker, take a running back. That would be my 2 cents for Kyle Shanahan. So, again, we'll see what happens, but it is, worth noting that they did meet with Andres Borregales ahead of the Shrine Bowl. Again, one of the better kickers in the draft. However, I'm just not a fan of taking kickers in the NFL draft when there's so much talent coming into the draft. So let me know what you guys think, though. Are you guys fans of taking kickers in the draft? I mean, I know a lot of people are probably stained from Moody and the terrible draft pick he was, but I'd like to hear from you guys. Give me your thoughts in the comments down below. As always, go Niners. I'll see you guys in the next one.